If you'd like to hear about my April makes, my birthday, and a little April vacation, stay tuned. Hi, my name is Cynthia and you're watching Mountain Accent Sewing. And I'm going to do this video a little bit different. I'm going to have to film it in segments because I have a lot going on. But I wanted to show you what I'm wearing. I am wearing the Atelier Jupe Lea Dress. I'm going to a baby shower today, but I also have to go get groceries, and this will be a great dress to wear not only to town, but then I can go straight from dropping off my groceries onto the baby shower. It is a lovely dress and so comfortable. And I'm going to show you what I want to pair with it. It's one of my April makes. I completed a bestie bag. This is a BF Patterns bag pattern. I have made it in a lavender chambray. I've included the hummingbird that we received in the Beyond the Pink Door Think Pink Subscription Box number 38. I ironed that onto my outer fabric. I have used a zipper from my stash, and this is just a zipper that I had, and it was the only one that was the correct length. So I went with it, and it's kind of just like a tan color. And let me take the bags out of the inside because I got it stuffed, and I'll show you the lining. Inside is a quilting cotton that I purchased from Asheville Cotton Company in Asheville. And it has the two pockets on this side. I know it's hard to see. Let me turn it inside out. Maybe I can show you better. Okay, so we have one big pocket over here, and on this side we have two pockets. I've added a made in, I'm not sure if that's going to show up, made in North Carolina label. And this was a fun make. I see why it's so popular. It doesn't take that long. I started it and then I set it aside because of the zipper. I was, for some reason, when I first went through my zippers, I didn't spot that I had this one, and I thought I was going to have to buy one. And when I was out looking in the shops, I couldn't find one that was the right length either. So I went through my box of zippers again, and I found this one zipper that was the right length, and so I went with it. And then I had it halfway constructed when I got my Think Pink box, and I decided this hummingbird would look beautiful on the outer lining. I did use a fusible fleece for the lining. I did a self-made handle with a tie. Now I did tie it differently than what they showed. I think they had it where this part was to the outside, but I prefer it, I think, to the inside. We'll see after I carry it today how well I like it, but I think it'll look great with my little summer dress. Yeah, hopefully the weather is going to be nice and it will not rain on me or be too cold. Next up, I'm going to show you the baby shower gift that I made. I purchased part of the gift, but I did make one item for this baby shower, and then I have another baby shower later in the month, so I went ahead and made two of these, but different fabrics. So let me grab the first one. This is the first one. I made a double-sided flannel blanket, and my niece, she loves mushrooms. She loves this color. She also likes lavenders and pinks and stuff like that, but I think she's going with a mushroom and Highland cow theme. So I found this beautiful flannel fabric that has mushrooms on it. And then the back side is this plaid. Now you can see it's going to need a good ironing. But these are fairly simple to construct. You put your right sides together, so around, leave a hole for turning, and then you top stitch around the edge, and then you can pretty much, I guess, quilt them together by doing some top stitching in a few places. And so on this one, I just did some vertical and horizontal lines to help hold it together, and I think she's going to really love it. These double-sided flannel blankets work great for like using for laying on a surface to change your baby's diaper, or laying it in the floor, or on a surface for them just to play on, or, you know, lay on. I don't recommend covering your baby with them though, because it's kind of heavy, but it is made for like either carrying with you and like even using it in your car if you had to change your baby in the car, or laying it, like I said, in the floor for a baby to lay on. Let me show you the next one. I'm not going to open this one up, but it's just little jungle animals, safari type animals, and on the inside is orange. And this is for one of my co-workers who's pregnant, and she loves these colors, but she also loves pink. And she is having a little girl, but this is was a fun print. And I actually found a little matching baby book that has like a little line, I think, on the outside of it that I think is going to look really cute with this. So that takes care of two of my easier makes that I gifted. And I'm going to pop back in here later to share my Easter dress and my other April makes. There's not, I think there's only two, the Easter dress and one other make. I also wanted to share a gift that someone gave me at work earlier this week, and I just thought it was so nice, and it'll work for my everyday life or for the sewing room. But it is a little notebook, and I think we all need to be reminded. So if you're listening and watching my channel, take this to heart. It says, sometimes you forget you're awesome, so this is your reminder. So don't forget, you're awesome. And I appreciate every one of you that take the time to watch my channel, comment, like, and subscribe. If you don't subscribe, I'd love to have you join my channel and follow me in my sewing journey and life journey. And so I'm going to sign off for a little bit, and I'm going to come back later to talk to you about my other makes. I'm back from town, and I have a few minutes to spare before I leave going to the baby shower, so I thought I would go ahead and share the rest of my April makes. I believe the one make I actually showed in my last makes video, and it is the Ellie Sews Scrappy tee, because I finished that really at the end of March, first day of April, so it's kind of fits into both months. And I'll insert a picture of what that looks like if you haven't seen it. And then if you want to hear more about it, you can go check out my previous video, and I'll link that below. The main thing that I want to talk about is for my April makes that I haven't already shared is the Appalachia Sews Phoebe Dress. Now this dress, I wore it for Easter Sunday, and it is totally out of my comfort zone, but I wanted to give it a try. Now, Samantha lives here in Western North Carolina, and she's a small pattern designer. She's very lovely, and I actually got to meet her a few weeks ago when I went to meet my other sewing friends for lunch. And I think I shared that also in the previous video. So yeah, I met Samantha, and I had happened to just cut out the dress the same day that I drove up to meet them for lunch. How coincidental is that? So let me tell you how she describes the Phoebe dress. She says it is a bohemian style sheath with bishop sleeves. This romantic and whimsical dress is perfect for any occasion. The Phoebe dress features a two-piece, full-length bishop sleeve with an elasticated hem that adds a touch of flair to the overall design. It's simple to fit, and this dress is a must-have for any wardrobe. I have to say that this pattern came together very quickly. She did a great job with this. I did, this is the pattern. And Samantha did a great job with her instructions and the layout. I really thoroughly enjoyed putting this together. On the front of the dress and the back of the dress, in this center portion, you're cutting out not only your outer fabric but a lining, so it almost creates like a double yoke, and it finishes the seam at your neckline perfectly. But you also, before you turn it, you have a couple of ties that you insert and sew down, and then you have your little outer bodice pieces for the front and the back. You have 2 pieces for your sleeve, and you gather in with elastic here as well as here. Now she does tell you to measure your wrist and how much to add to the elastic. And I was a little concerned about the elastic here, so I did make an adjustment there, and I made my elastic a little bit longer. It looks great, but I think next time I will definitely follow her recommendation, because when I push the sleeve up, it's still loose enough that it doesn't sit on my arm. It just hangs very nicely. So it's very romantic looking. And then you have a gathered skirt and just a regular hem. So the main part is creating your bodice pieces, inserting this elastic, doing a slightly gathered skirt, and it is designed to sit, even though it doesn't look it here, it sits closer to your bust line rather than at your waistline, because it is more like, I think it's an Elizabethan time period where they have the nightgowns that set at the bust, similar to how this dress here, it has a curved one. Hers has a straight, but it sits here, and then the skirt falls from there. So let me grab my dress. And I forgot to mention, I made a size 18 and graded out to a size 20. I went by my measurements and her finished garment measurements, and I'm happy with the fit. I probably could go down a little bit because it is oversized, and it's designed, I think, for drapey fabrics. Now, she has a version that is in double gauze, and I think it looks like I think it's double gauze, and it is stunning. But this is my dress, and I've made it in a viscose. And you'll see that I have the little ties here. If I had sewn this in March, I could have counted it towards the Sew Indo challenge. I had previously purchased this fabric for my mother. She's held on to it for a few years, and then told me she didn't think she would ever sew it up because she's not doing any garment sewing really anymore. She's doing some other sewing projects, but not garment sewing. So she gave it back to me, and I decided to use it for this dress. And it's a ditzy floral, and it's on a cream background, but it's got blues, reds, yellows, lots of colors. And here's one of the elastic channels that I've created there, an elastic channel here. And you can see that this bodice piece here in the back is fully lined. Now, I did not add a label on this particular garment. And you can see that the bodice is fairly short, so it does hit me more at the bust line. I'm going to insert pictures. And then you have the gathered skirt, and it hits just at my knee or slightly below the knee. I was a little concerned when I realized where the bodice would sit that it might be too short or like stick out too much. And that's why you need a drapey fabric. If it was made in cotton or something, it would stick out from your body too much. So you definitely want something that is lightweight and drapey. And yeah, I'll insert pictures, and let me know in the comments below what you think. Like I said, it's totally out of my comfort zone, but I really like the way it turned out and looked, and I'll wear it. Again, now I might, for a future make one a little bit longer and maybe create a tie and just see how it looks with a belt. I think that would look really cute too, because it's just a very fun construction. And yeah, I highly recommend the pattern. I believe I have shared all of my April makes. So let me talk a little bit about my birthday. I got some money for my birthday, so I have spent part of it. I don't have it here, but I've ordered a couple patterns. And then I'm planning on purchasing, I think, some fabric. But then I also have thought about buying some makeup. And this is another thing that I wanted to get advice about. I have been researching the Jones Road Beauty products. I want to know if any of you have tried that line. I had never tried it. I used to use Merrill Norman, and then I started using Clinique. And I saw an ad for the Jones Road Beauty, and it is geared, well, I guess anyone could wear it, but you know, it is, they have some products that are geared towards women of my age. So I turned 53 this year, so yeah, I'm thinking that I might like to try it. So let me know if you've tried any of their products. And so I've mentioned that we went on a little vacation, so it was just like left in the middle of the week and was gone for, I think, 4 days, and went to Lake Santilla again, which is in Graham County. Pretty sure it's Graham County, Western North Carolina, and rented a little house there and spent every day out on the lake. Now the weather, we had some good weather, but we also had some rainy weather. But when we got rained out on the lake, we just go back to the house and we read, watched TV, and just relaxed. Because that's what this vacation was all about, was relaxation. And then when we was out on the lake, we were fishing. We did catch some fish, and I failed to take any photos of the actual fish, but I did take some footage of being out on the lake, and I'm going to insert that at the very end of this video. So stay tuned for that. And let me talk a little bit about my plans that's coming up. I'm working on Lander shorts. I had hoped to finish those in April, and it didn't happen, but I've made good progress. I've also going to be working on my Think Pink Subscription Box 38 fabric to share with you later this month. And I'm going to work on another bag pattern. Well, it's going to be a tote, basically, but I am going to make it with a fold over piece, and I'm going to try out my Vario tool. I got this for Christmas, and I have used it on some jeans buttons, but I haven't tried it on snaps yet. So yeah, I'm gonna make this tote with the fold over flap that has snaps, so I can try out the Vario tool and see how it works. So hopefully that will work out the way I want. And then I'm still thinking about what else I want to make, because I'm wanting to make more shorts, and I'm wanting to make more shirts for summertime, and of course more dresses. And I've got to pick out some patterns and narrow down my choices. Before I conclude this video, let's talk a little bit about Me Made May 2025. If you haven't heard about the Me Made challenge, it's been going on for several years. It was started by So blog, hashtag So blog. You can go check out her Instagram page to learn more about the details. I am unable to wear Me Made clothing every single day because I will have to wear a uniform to work. So I choose to wear Me Made on the weekends. And some of my PJs are Me Made. I'm not going to post what I wear on Instagram. I'm just going to talk a little bit about what I'm doing here. But Lindsay at Inside the Hem, if you're not familiar with her, please go check out her YouTube channel, her Instagram page, Inside the Hem. She is taking a spin on the Me Made May and doing sew in 30 in the month of May. So it's a hashtag #ITHSew30. And I'll link that hashtag below. If you want to go to her Instagram page, she can tell you all about the challenge and the prizes that she's giving. And I'm choosing to participate in that. So far, I have been able to sew for 30 minutes or more for day 1 and day 2. Today is May 3rd, and I am wearing Me Made since it's a Saturday. And I wore my dress and my bestie bag. And yeah, I'll try to wear Me Made again tomorrow, but I'm also hoping to sew. So I'm going to put my photo in of my pledge for the Me Made Made challenge, and it is, I plan to sew 30 minutes a day or work on a sewing project for 30 minutes a day. So that may be planning, thinking about what I need in my wardrobe, cutting out a pattern, tracing a pattern, or sewing. What are you doing for Me Made May? Are you participating? Let me know in the comments below. So that is what I'm going to do for the month of May. I'm going to see if by just spend a little bit of time each day on sewing, if I can get more accomplished during the month. We'll see how I do. And yeah, I've already told you that I'm working on my Lander shorts. I've got a dress that I'm planning with my Think Pink Sewscription Box fabric. And I'm also wanting to work on a tote bag and do some other sewing projects. I'm going to take a look at my patterns and the fabrics in my stash and see if I can match something else up that I can work on in the month of May. Hopefully I'll get 1 or more items added to what I'm already working on. So stay tuned. Again, let me know in the comments below what you're working on, and let me know if you're participating in Me Made May. And I'm going to conclude this video with my vacation photos of Lake Santilla. Hope you enjoy.